For the most of my life, I've been lonely. As a young child, everything was fine. At age 7, I got put in an elderly group of kids who were 2 years older than me because I basically was smarter than the rest of my old class. But these kids were all older than me, and nobody wanted to play with me back then. And it kind of set the momentum for the rest of my teenage years until now, where I always was a bit of an outlier. It didn't really change when I became like 12, 13 years old, a teenager in a new school. 2 years ago, I discovered self improvement. Now, I'm still kind of lonely. Things have changed, but I'm still kind of lonely. Let me explain. When you get into self improvement, people will encourage you. When you start going to the gym, people are hyping you up. Yeah, bro, you're gonna get fit. I started watching some educational content. I, I didn't really do the meditating and gratitude journaling back then, which I definitely should have done. But I was just trying to improve myself. This was when I started making some friends. I, Before that point, I actually had one really good friend, which was basically my only real friend. But we had a really good relationship together. And I was now trying to get him onto self improvement, and we kind of strengthened our connection further. So he went to the gym with me, and I was feeling a bit more connected with other people. But as you might have experienced yourself, once you surpass the people, suddenly they become crap. Suddenly they want to grab you down. So when I was below them, they were hyping me up for becoming a better version of myself. Now that I'm surpassing them, now when I'm like the biggest 17-year-old you will ever see in your life, natural. Now the hate begins. Now the guys who used to be my friends talking about my back to my little sister. Could you imagine that? I have a little sister of she turned 11 yesterday, and some guy friends of me are talking shit about me, how I'm boasting online, how I look stupid, to my little sister. The path right now, despite being on self improvement now for 1.5, 2 years, is still kind of lonely. Maybe lonely is not the right word, but people do not understand me. So if you're watching this video, you probably understand me better because you're in the same kind of space where you're dedicating your time to watching a full length video. But just most guys you will meet in day to day life, they don't understand a single clue about me. They think that drinking and partying and watching porn are fun things to do. They're not accepted. They're like 90% of the population, not even teenagers, adults as well. How to deal with it? How to deal with this loneliness that in my life began at a really young age. One benefit, because it started so early in my life, is that I kind of learned to cope with it. I want to share this with you today. What a lot of guys may struggle with is that in their childhood they had more friends than me, who they were abundant in social relationships until they discovered self-improvement, and now they're actually realizing those friends aren't real friends, and even if they are genuinely good persons, I do not really want to be with them. Yeah, I feel sorry for you to begin with. it shouldn't be like this. If you're trying to become better, your life should be getting better as well. More friends. It's this zigzag. So this is your skill, let's say, and this is your friends. It's the same. You go up a bit, this goes up a bit. You go up further, suddenly it snaps down. It snaps down. And it isn't until you get way further here that it suddenly from like the floor snaps back up. This is when you get so competent that the real successful people start respecting you and want to be friends with you. But until that point, there's like 5 to 10 years. Like I'm not there yet. I'm I'm running this race. I think I'm running pretty fast, but I'm definitely not at the finish line. But to come back at my point, if you now get up to self-improvement and suddenly you feel lonely and you've never really learned how to cope with loneliness, that can be hard. So that's when I want to give some tips to you today. The first tip I could give you on how to feel less lonely is cliche, but just be okay with it. Just accept that when you're lonely, nobody can drag you down. If you're lonely, there's no peer pressure of your mates like pressuring you to drink alcohol or drink no or to smoke a joint or to watch some football game. If you are alone, you get to choose what you want to do. Now look, if you are alone and you start doing the bad habits, especially porn and video games and binge watching some random Netflix series, okay, that's even worse. I would rather you go back at the stage first where you're kind of doing the bad habits, but also kind of improving your social skills. That's still better than being this whole Lone Ranger who does nothing good. Okay, so if you decide I do not want to be this guy, you want to go a step further, which is the lone wolf, but who does great habits, who meditates, who does gratitude journaling, who goes to the gym, who doesn't eat junk food, who doesn't watch porn, who does mobility stretching, all the good habits you can think of. One thing you will realize is it gets kind of fun. And you can see it right. You see this thing? Wait, can I point at it? Here, on my there, just above my fingertip. It's my habit tracker. So, for example, I have learned something new on the piano, and every single day I need to learn something new on the piano. So I learn from tutorials certain songs, and I just learn some new combinations. Or on the guitar, I also play it. A 15-minute walk is also on there, and every single day I can get to cross them off, and that gives me a sense of fulfillment to cross a box off. It makes being lonely way more fun. Reading books. Books are amazing. They consume a lot of your time, they train your attention span, and you just learn new things. It's kind of meditating with in a less extreme way. This is the first way to cope with loneliness is when you are alone, make your time spent at least somewhat productive. You won't be perfect at all. Just watch some educational content like I am providing you right now. The second thing I would give you is you know how I talked about the finish line earlier in this video? Imagine that at the finish line is your future wife, your future children. Maybe it is Me, if you reach out to me or we become best friends, whatever. And they're watching you right now. Just imagine, would they be proud if they see you being peer pressured by your friends and you have your choice? You can stay with them or be lonely. And because you do not want to feel a little bit bad in the moment, you decide to stay with your negative friends who you know are bad for you. Just imagine their looks on their faces. Imagine this. If you keep doing this for another 10 years, that future wife is not going to be your wife anymore. She's going to be mine. Maybe now it's a future husband for you. I don't know if you want that. Or just if you believe in a God, imagine that God is watching you every single moment of the day. Can you feel lonely if you know that God is watching you, if your ancestors are watching you, or if your future loved ones are watching you? No. You should think, hey, I want to make them proud right now. That's the second thing I would say. The third thing, some guys may not have this, then I feel really sorry for you. Family, especially your mother, can provide you with so much love. I get almost all the love that I need. I get it from my mother. The rest I get from some older guy friends who I feel are a bit of brothers to me, but they're not really friends. I just know them in the gym. We just have a good relationship together. But family, man, if you even if you think your parents are kind of lazy and unproductive, at least your mother, she will always love you. I hope so. Maybe you have some little sister, like I said, or a little brother. You could be their Superman. That's cringe to say, but you get what I mean. Their role model. You cannot be sitting there sad, oh, I'm lonely, when there's some little version of you, like looking up to you. And he's going to adapt the same mentality that you are showing him. Do you want your future? No, what? Do you want your little sister or little brother to be a loser? To be like those crabs we talked about, who once you surpass them, they will grab you back down. No, no, stay with us. Play video games. Oh, you're just insecure. Probably not. If you take one thing away from this video, let it be to be okay with being lonely. I've actually gotten to a point now where I accept this state. I might stay here forever. I don't know. Probably not forever, but I'm not discontent here. It's not like it's the most fun thing, but it's also not like a pain in the ass or something. It's like, okay, it's reasonable right now. Sure, I'm lonely, but as long as I just speak with guys in the gym, which would be my last point I want to make, you will be fine. So the last point I wanted to tell you is, first, if you do not go to the gym, sign up to a gym immediately. But if you're there, you do not need to make friends specifically, but just be social. Just say hi to everyone. Okay, not in this weird way, but gradually go up to one guy and then get to know him, get to know his name. kind of becomes your friend into the gym. When you see him, you speak for like a few minutes together. You do then get another guy, and you create this group of connect connaissances, people who know you and you know them, who aren't really friends, but it's kind of scratches that lonely social feeling that you have right now. So be okay with being lonely, and then to scratch that little sting, or it will always be there, because you can never be like, yeah, I'm okay with being lonely now, and then it just always disappears. Of course not. Hey, we need to be realistic here. But the gym is perfect, man, for scratching that. The jeuk, it's called in the Netherlands. I can't come up to the word. You do not need to become friends. Why? Because most guys in the gym are still losers. Like, going to the gym is level 2 or level 3. You're better than the lowest quality of people, but it is not like going to the gym makes you a top 10% guy. It makes you a top 40%, top 30% guy, perhaps. But a lot of people still smoke and drink and do drugs in the gym, so just be aware of that. I think I'm sure you will find this video helpful. So spread out some love to me as well. I need some more followers, some likes. I do this for free right now. I want to monetize my channel eventually, but right now it's just me spitting game for free. So don't forget to leave some love and likes back. And yeah, once again, have a nice evening.